Hello everyone! Happy Monday, it's Courtney here, and today we are talking about what is becoming one of my absolute favorite topics. I'm going to show you how to do your under eyes using Demi colors. So if you're not familiar or you're new here, like I said, I'm Courtney. I am affiliated with a product called Saint Beauty, and I have two lines of makeup that I teach women how to use. So our first is our 3D foundation, which is a pilot project, which is cream-based makeup that you put all in one layer on your face and kind of blend together. And the second is Demi color. Now, I'm a certified Demi artist. I've been certified for over a year now, which is crazy. And Demi color is also cream makeup, but it comes in these beautiful, amazing array of colors. This is an artist palette, so don't worry, you won't have all of these colors in your own little arsenal. But what this is a color solving product. So I believe it's the only color solving product on the market. You can come at me if you disagree. But what I mean by that is that we are going to be correcting the excess colors on the face to kind of bring everything into balance without having to go in and put foundation over top. How cool is that? So today I'm going to be talking about under eyes because that is the number one thing that people will say they want to correct when they put their makeup on. So if I ask you, why do you wear makeup, or what do you want to target when you're applying your makeup, most of the time people will say to me under eyes. And I find it, especially since using Demi, a little bit sad because lots of people don't have near as bad as under eyes as they think they do. We're always a worse critic. But also, especially with Demi color, under eyes can be a little bit tricky because the skin underneath is so thin and translucent that it actually allows a ton of colors to show through, which can make it a little bit tricky. As well, there's tons of movement under our eye daily, so that's where you get most of your creasing and cakiness from with your traditional foundation. So it's really important, especially with our Demi color. It's a very, very sheer application to color correct, so it's important to make sure you're not using a whole lot of product. Otherwise, Demi color is the way to go. I've never used anything. Nothing that I've used has come close to this for correcting my under eyes. So I wanted to walk you through how I do that today and give you a little bit of information about what we're doing and why. I'm not going to go into too much about color theory, but with Demi color, it's really important to kind of have two things under your belt. First off, you're going to be having to recognize excess color in the face. And what I mean by that is like things that are distracting to your eye, things that you maybe don't necessarily like. And then you're going to kind of make sure that you've actually kind of played around and assessed and learned your face to kind of make a little bit of a color wheel out of your own face to learn the colors that are excess on your own skin tone and having a little bit of knowledge of color theory. But I'm here for you to help you out with that. We're all learning together, and that's why you have a Demi certified artist who is trained and knowledge in this brand new product. There's nothing else like this on the market, so we're all learning together. But with Demi color, it's kind of funny because you learn, I'm gonna do a little bit of rambling today too, sorry guys. With Demi color, you kind of learn that there are things on your face that are just kind of like your natural beauty, and it's okay to accept that. So like things like freckles or some kind of like a little bit of darkness under your eye or like a natural eyeshadow, things like that are things that you can accept. They're things that are very beautiful, and they're things that are your characteristics, and they're things that, like, you know, society might say aren't great, but there are variations in your skin that are super beautiful, and like your husband or your sister or your friend, they're not going to notice it. We're always our worst critique. So with Demi color, we're looking for the excess in the skin that actually is distracting the eye from that natural beauty. So with our under eyes, oftentimes we think they're a lot more distracting than what is actually going on in the under eyes. So moving on into that, I'm going to say something, and I put this into the description because I hope it does, and it's going to ruffle some feathers, but we are going away and we're not putting concealer or makeup under our whole under eye anymore. We do not need it. You don't need to cover your whole entire under eye, and I'm going to teach you why with this product. It's you know, if you look under your eye, there's areas that actually like match your skin tone. Like this part of my under eye here is not in excess. There's nothing abnormal there. It kind of blends with the rest of my under eye. Here I have a little bit of darkness, but like even in here, it's the same color as the rest of my skin. So why are we putting a whole layer of makeup just to lose all of that like sheerness and beautiful skin texture? So this is where Demi color comes in. Less is more. I want you to start to accept that, especially as you're moving into Demi color. It's really just bringing in that youthful, glowing and luminous skin that we all actually is really what we're going for with our makeup. So that's what we're going over today. I just dropped all my brushes, so I'm gonna grab them. Okay, I think I got everything off my chest. I just get so excited with Demi color because it's just such an amazing product. So today we're just targeting under eyes, and I'm just going to be going in and doing one eye just so you can kind of see the difference. But yeah, so I've pulled out a few colors that are commonly found in my under eye. Like I said, I am certified in Demi color to choose a few colors if you are interested in trying out this technique and this makeup. These are the colors that have been working under my eye because I've learned the excess colors and where they're located in my face. But if that's something that you want some help with, I'm here to help you. So you can just comment Demi below if you want some extra help to pick out a little bit of Demi color to try on your own under eye. So I've done a little bit of Demi color on the rest of my face. You can see my skin is showing through, but I have a little bit of that toning and sculpting, so a little bit of that color that's added. I've also kind of targeted a couple of distractions that I had on my face, and I've left my under eyes so we can do that today. So with your under eye, I want you to zoom in, and like with anything with Demi, you're really gonna like assess actually what's on your face. So with the under eye, I'm gonna zoom in here, and I hope my camera will focus enough for you guys, but I'm gonna really zoom in and show you guys what is going on under my eye. So I'm gonna talk through it. So with Demi, and most of the things that are distracting, I'm gonna give you a little tip right now. If it's dark on your face, it's going to have blue in it. Simple as that. I'm not going to get too much into color theory. I have a ton of videos about that if you want some more in-depth. If something is dark on your face, it's going to be an excess of blue. It's going to have an excess of blue in it, so we're just going to go with that. Also, if it is melasma or some hyperpigmentation, especially under the eye, it is going to have some green in it. So those are the two colors super mainly that are in excess under the eye. Occasionally, some people have a little bit of excess purple, which shows up as like a slight bit of flushing. I've kind of neutralized all the little bit of purple that's been on my face, but sometimes I get a little bit of redness like here. It's not so bad today, but then I'll pop a little bit of my yellow orange, which is the opposite of my bluey purples, to kind of neutralize that. So knowing those two colors and then assessing your own eye will help you get started with Demi color. So first off, we want to look at the darkest points. Now you might say, oh, this whole like part is dark. Well, we need to zoom in a little bit closer, and I hope my camera will show this, because if you look, I have some melasma deposits here that actually cause quite a bit of darkness down this way, now that I point that out to you. So I know those are green or have some green in them. This spot is also kind of a melasma or a freckle. And then in here, you can see these darker points also are actually green within that blue darkness. So the rest of the part doesn't look so muddy. It's just dark. So here, there's some excess blue, and then here, there's a little bit of excess blue as well. So I have mostly blues and greens under my eye, which most people will. And don't worry, I can help you point these out. But then we're going to go in with a kind of targeted and meticulous way to use the least amount of product under the eye, so we're not going to get that creasing and movement, and we're just going to neutralize where that excess color is. So first off, you're going to go into the darkest points, which is on me, this is the darkest point. So I'm going to go in with the spot brush. Now, this is the smallest brush we currently have with Demi color. If you're finding you're having trouble, or you have even smaller spots that you want to get to, I also have a tiny little, this is a MAC brush, but you can just go to the craft store and get a tiny little craft brush to kind of get into those really tiny spots, if that helps you kind of brighten things up. But for my under eye, I can usually get away with the spot brush. So I'm going to tap in, and in here, this is quite dark. So I'm going to go into a higher saturation, so I'm going to go into 03. And then I'm just going to take the tiniest little amount. I even have a little bit too much on there. I'm just going to tap some of that off. Tiniest little amount. And I'm just going to place a little bit of that color. Now I have my mirror here because I need to get really close to Demi. So I'm going to try and do it so you guys can see in the video as well. So I've got that tiny little bit of blue right in here that I'm just going to place that little bit of product on. And I hope you guys could see that in the video, how it was like completely erased that darkness, like completely erased. It's just magic. You guys can't even see makeup texture on there. It's unreal. So after that, I'm going to stick with my my O to target these blues. I'm going to stick with that 03 because I have a little bit more depth and darkness here. That same color. So once I've learned that on my face, now you can see I've got a little bit too much product here. That's okay. I'm just going to flip over, or you could tap with your finger just to kind of blend and swipe away a little bit of that excess color. We don't want to get a whole bunch of color on there. One, we don't need it, and two, it's going to kind of crease and move away if we get too much of that color. So I'm just taking this orange, this 03, and I'm targeting a few of these dark spots on my under eye. Now you can see, kind of jumping here and there and everywhere, but I'm not swiping this product all under my skin. So just using that one tin, this Magic 03, everybody needs this in their compact, so go get it, even if you just want to practice with one Demi color. Look at how much brighter already my under eye is. You guys, I can't make this up. It's just magic. Okay, then before I go back into my lighter blues, I'm going to target some of these dark green spots or melasma spots that I said. So this is where I'm going to move a little bit more into the red because excess green can be neutralized by red. So I actually use an RO1 for this. So I'm going to take this. I'm again going to try and have this at an angle so you guys can see this color. Okay, there, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to take a little bit of that RO1, and I'm just picking a few of these darker melasma spots that are kind of on the edge of my, so like my orbital bone is here, they kind of sit like right on the edge, but you can kind of see on this side how it almost makes it look like I have a little bit of bag just because of that shadow there. I'm just going to take a little bit here onto this one. And then I also have a little bit that actually pools right in the back. Oops, I got a little bit too much product there too. Right in the back end of this kind of dark, what looks like blue under eye. It's actually the green there that's causing that darkness. Just gonna blend a little bit of that away because I got a little bit too much product. Here, this is also a little bit green. I might need a little bit of my O1 there too, but I think, oh no, I think we'll be okay with this RO. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm just like putting so much product on. As you get better and quicker with Demi, you'll be able to just kind of have the right amount of product on your brush. You won't need to kind of go in and wipe it all off. So I've kind of got two little green spots in this dark part on the inner corner of my eye that I'm going to do first. You'll kind of see this will completely brighten up the rest of that inner corner. That's usually a very dark spot on most people. There we go. Okay, that's like almost basically all I do anymore on my under eyes. They just don't need a lot as I used to think. Sometimes my melasma is a little bit more prominent. Sometimes I have some veins out here that are a little bit prominent, so you can kind of go in and hit those with an orange if that's something that's very dark on you. They don't bother me anymore now that I've fallen in love and know how to fix my under eyes with Demi. The last thing that I like to correct is almost everybody in their under eye will have like a little bit of a natural ridge or a natural shadow or a trough, you might hear it's been called. But basically it's where like your the fleshy part of your cheek kind of starts and your orbital bone sits. So oftentimes you'll have like a little bit of a fold there. Now, that is natural texture on your face, so you can't get rid of that, but what we can do is kind of trick the eye, do a little bit of an optical illusion to make it not so enhanced. You can also do this on, like if you have some deep wrinkles or kind of some laugh lines and things like that that bother you. But what I'm going to do is dark is blue. So shadows on the face will often have some blue in it. So I'm just going to go back to my 01, and I'm just going to take the littlest amount here and just kind of go along the darkest parts of that little trough here, right where that shadow is. And then it's going to absolutely trick the eye into seeing that that shadow really isn't actually there. Now, if you look around and do it at an angle and whatever, you'll probably still be able to see the trough because I'm not doing any filler. I'm not getting rid of it, but it's going to make it look less prominent just by kind of tricking the eye to not see that shadow there. So how cool is this? This little tiny little green spot that I usually don't have right in my tear duct here is bothering me. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that red there to clean that up. Maybe take a little bit of O. So once you start correcting a few things, you might see a couple things pop up. Give yourself some grace, especially as you're learning. Try to kind of figure out the first couple things that are really jumping out at you and then stop and be okay with that. Because sometimes as you're moving around with Demi color, you'll kind of fix a spot and then you'll notice some other things will kind of like jump out because that's not as distracting. But look at this. Look at this. I have my head tipped down. I should have done like some head bobs before, but I took some pictures, so we'll compare. Just gonna get this little tiny blue spot that's there in the shadow. Okay, so I'm tipping down. Look at all this color. This deep recess is gone. My inner corner is nice and bright. Inner corner looking dark and shadowing. You're not seeing any of that depth, and my under eye looks so much brighter and lifted. How cool is that? So I think that's all I want to cover with Demi under eyes. It's really important to remember you need to look close, but not so close that you're nitpicking every little thing. So look close at the darkness under your eye. See what's actually dark there. Is it blue, which means is it dark and shadowy, or is it green? Is it a little bit muddy? And is there anything else that's kind of distracting? So that's how I kind of will work through my under eyes. And I basically I did only use 3 colors today. Sometimes, like I said, if I have that purple, I'll go into my yellow orange, but I didn't even need to do that today. And then everything just looks luminous and bright. This is going to last all day. It's not going to move in texture because you saw how little amount of product, and I even wiped a little bit away because I got excited and used a little bit too much product. So if you're seeing product on your face when you're putting it on, it's too much. Try and wipe a little bit off on your hand or in your brush tile and try and go in there, or just tap a little bit off with that with your finger. But that is Demi color, and drop in all my stuff here again too. That's Demi color for under eyes. Really, less is more, like I said at the beginning, and I have never, like I said, I've never found anything that truly like actually takes care of my under eyes. I always found that concealer almost made it worse, especially as I aged, because of these melasma freckles. I could go into on and on about the reasons why, but really I can no longer say that this is the makeup of my dreams because it's real. It's a reality, and I just can't hold it back anymore. I've been a little bit nervous on how to teach and explain this to you, but really is just getting the product in your hands, letting me help you with the basics, and then playing around and seeing how this product really just actually takes care, and it's actually kind of just Photoshop for your face. So I'm excited to do a little bit more into Demi color. I'm going to have some more videos. I do have some uploaded, or a little bit more information if that's something you're interested in. I also have a separate Demi color group just for people that are interested in learning a little bit more. So if that's something you're interested in too, just comment Demi. I can reach out and we can find you what you need. Or if you want a couple colors to kind of try Demi color just for your under eyes, let me know and I can do that too. So hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Monday, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.